Hello, Malton. It's me, Zombie GG, bringing you my latest ZGG Fireside Chat. I have for you tonight the first part of my brand new series with SweetIrony, a player whose accomplishments include commanding the famous Battle of Blackmoor with the new Malton Colossus, lecturing with the greatest at the Courtly Study Group, and much else, including kicking off and hosting this amazing 2024 Urban Dead reunion. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show. Sorry, I just got distracted a little bit. They're telling me that presently, like right now, Blackmoor is occupied by a lot of survivors. And I kind of want to join them right now. I might.
I'm in there. Come
You
join
are?
us.
You're
Yes,
in
I
there?
am.
Oh man.
I'm not gonna miss the Blackmoor siege,
How
which
much
I need to
actual
tell
points
that
do I have?
story. But
Okay, yeah, here, I'm presently running over there right now. I did not know this was a thing. What do I have for supplies? Oh, I'm loaded with guns. So let me,
nice.
uh,
It's the combat revive squad, so they mostly don't shoot the zombies. They just revive them.
I can't remember how to get there. I'm in Ridley Bank.
From
I'm in Boniface Towers. Or Boniface Library. Looking at Glenville Towers. Do I have to really open a map?
okay, you want to go southwest.
Alright, now we're in. What do we have? Extremely heavily barricaded. No power. They came, they saw, they fed the horde. Barha, nice spray paint. That's like zombie propaganda. We need to mix this up.
It is, well, because they combat revive the zombies, and then they either come in and, kill us, or it's a different style. I'm not a member of their group, but I've been hanging out with them.
Oh,
It's
combat
interesting.
revives? They're awesome.
Yeah.
It's like the most effective weapon in the game. Like in super early Urban Dead, remember? Combat revive used to be a single action point.
Right.
It was like unbelievable. And then Kevin nerfed it 10 times. Like made it like a 10
Right.
time. Like
I
that's
do remember.
epic. You don't hear about
It's
a nerf that hard in games often.
right.
Small indie company, you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they've been trying to take the Blackmoor a few times recently and getting killed pretty quickly. It's nothing like our big epic Battle of Blackmoor in 2006.
What do you have to say about that? Were you part of that one?
Oh man. The RRF had left. I forget why. They had gone to a different suburb for some reason. And Channel 4 News team just thought it would be funny to go to Ridley Bank, and everybody said, we might last like a day or a couple days, but it was just for lulz or whatever. And so I went with them, and after a few days, I forget how long it took, but we figured out we needed to hold the Blackmoor building. And I don't know if you remember this, but in the early days, it was sort of common wisdom to not sleep in a resource building, right? Because the zombies are going to know you're going to want to be in a resource building, so they're more likely to attack you.
Especially if it's powered.
Right? But since Ransack was added, it became critical to hold buildings like the Blackmoor if you're trying to, and so we shortly realized we all needed to get in that building, and so we did. And in the very early days, we were dying multiple times a day, reviving each other and getting back up and coming back in. I made like a graph of the survivor and zombie numbers based on, I grabbed data from our forum, the RRF's forum, where people said, there's this many zombies and there's this many survivors. And it's like, at the worst, it was like 4-to-1, like zombie to survivor, maybe. Like standing survivors, because a lot of us were dead. at
Oh.
any given time.
Do you remember some of the other big survivor groups that were part of it, or big zombie groups?
Oh man. Well, I mean, at first it was the RRF, whoever was left or whoever came back. So I think it was them, and it was mostly like Channel 4 news team, but other people from the new Malton Colossus were there. So for that, that was my character SweetIrony that went there in the Blackmore. The Courtly Study group was there. That's where I met them.
Courtly
And
Study Group was
so,
in Blackmore?
oh yeah, Sir Fred was one of the OG Blackmore bastards. And
What? That like
yeah,
RP librarian was like an OG Blackmore bastard?
yes,
Oh,
yes.
jeez.
Um, it was so fun.
That paints such a different
And
light on him for me.
yeah, and yeah, Ron was there. Vito was there. If you can look in the reunion, I put people's roles.
Is that yours? Are you the one who started that?
It is, and I didn't really know what I was doing when I made it. But I am trying.
Who's one of your personal favorites that you've got back?
Um, I mean, some of them didn't feel like such an accomplishment. Like Padre, I had been Facebook friends with forever. Other people were more like of a like Ron. I really wanted to find him, and I was so happy when I did. And some people I didn't even have to track down. They just were invited. They're still in the game or they're on Discord. And then there's people that I found um that haven't answered me or that won't join, and that makes me sad.
Who's one that you would really like to get back?
Oh, Major Grippy. He was the Malton Rangers leader.
The one I know, I see you got him in the Discord, is Marcel Swan. That person's a
Yeah, Marcel,
legend.
I I am so thankful to him because I think he has kept the forum alive. Because I'm pretty sure it might have got deleted if he hadn't been admin and posts every once in a while and checks it and stuff. And so I'm really grateful to him for that. And he also, because I was looking through the forum, looking through everybody's profiles and their posts to try to figure out who they are and contact them. And I realized that I could see more if I was an admin. And so I knew I needed Marcel. And so I actually found him in game. I slapped him with the newspaper and I said, Marcel, I need you on the forum. He came on there, and he gave me admin powers. And so now I can see more email addresses and stuff. And it's been very helpful.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna send you the Battle of Blackmore wiki page. I might have sent you that before, but if you look at that, I realized I didn't finish the Blackmore story, but you can see the list of the groups that were involved and the commanders. I'm listed as one of the commanders.
Wait, you're listed as a commander?
Yes, I
Where?
am there in the.
Commander, you are number... Dun, 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 dun. You're in there. You're in the mid. You're no Ron Burgundy, but you're in there.
I think I'm 10th on there. They listed me before Padre.
Yeah, and you got Major Grippy, this person too, Malton Ranger leader. And there's Sir Fred,
Yep, he was there.
Blackmore Bastard Brigade / Courtly
Yes.
Study Group.
So we lasted in the Blackmore, longer than we had expected to. And once it had been close to a couple weeks, maybe, we realized we should probably like give ourselves a name. And so we were, trying to figure out what to name ourselves. And I actually, in Blackmore Bastard Brigade, I supplied the brigade because I was making a reference to the Charge of the Light Brigade poem. And we invoked a lot of like literary references and different things. And we fully expected to die very quickly. And so those were the kind of things that we referenced, like the Alamo and things like that. And that was how Channel 4 News Team played. Like they went where the battle was. They weren't interested in sitting in a secure building. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. That's why the Ron Burgundy's my number one. He's like
Yeah.
puts himself like in front of the teeth of the lion and tells everyone
Mm-hmm.
else to like, let's go, and it's like, let's go. You can't not
Yeah.
or whatever.
And the wiki pages that he wrote are so funny. You know, Ron actually he joined Discord for the reunion.
That's so cool. You know, what's his name? Charles Darwin was originally in the Discord once, but he couldn't figure out how to turn off the notifications or something. He
Oh.
messaged me and said it was like the biggest nuisance he ever, like, it wasn't a kind
Oh.
worded text about his short-lived experience on Discord. And I wanted to be like, bro, there's notification disable options. But if he comes
Yeah.
back, I hope he does, because Charles
No,
Darwin,
well,
another RP like king.
I Charles Darwin was an awesome player, and I'm sorry to have to tell you that he is no longer with us. I found him, but uh I found his like memorial in memoriam page. I can send
Well,
that to you.
like I literally have Charles Darwin on my contacts list still, hoping one
Oh.
day he will come back.
Yeah, I have him in my contacts and Winka, who also has died. That was known. That was on the forum. I want to say that was 2012, maybe. Yeah, because I think she died in around 2012. But they had like a memorial and stuff for her. But yeah, I have both of them in my contacts, and like I don't have the heart to delete them.
Winka was, were they Courtly study group as well?
Yeah, she was Courtly study group. I forget. She had like a few alts that had very similar names. I can't remember. She was Winka on the forum, and
Okay.
then she had like Wink Art and Wink Alt and Winka. I forget which one was QSG. But what am I
QSG
doing?
was, that's really what got me excited tonight was that conversation about the, how did you start it in your reunion Discord? It was somehow Courtly came up.
Oh, it
It was
was.
like
I think it was. Um,
the
I was
truce or
asking about, yeah, what the Survivor Security Zone folks had thought of of our truce zone,
yeah.
which that's a whole story that I should tell. But
Are you done with the Blackmore one? I don't mean to
I'm
cut you
I'm
off.
not.
Please go.
I'm
Let's
not.
finish that one. That needs to get
Yes,
immortalized in
but
audio.
actually, because I don't want to forget, I want to send you Darwin's. Where is it? Um,
Obituary.
yeah. Well, he was like a professor. Hold on. It was actually, even though it was sad, like I really enjoyed reading about him as a real person.
Oh, wow, that's him?
Yeah.
He looks exactly like I pictured his character.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I know. Um, so
Instrumental in teaching many courses. That's so cool. I mean, in game, I had a great time working with Charles Darwin's character for like
hmm
long time. That person was a Rothwood patriot. Just like
hmm
provided such a fun space for zombies and survivors and PKers. Like any playstyle, Courtly Study Group had their barricades down, doors
hmm
open, and a truce in place. And I loved it because I'm a little bit of a romantic for, you know, quirky stuff like that.
Right.
But I do know that, you know, a lot of the more militant survivors and zombies, honestly, would both constantly violate what Courtly was trying to promote there for a culture. Survivors
hmm
would like over barricade and they'd claim bounties on PKers, you know, kind of
Mm.
refuging in Courtly. It's like, dude, it's the Courtly truce, you know, it works both ways too. You know, like you can sit
Right.
right here. And one of my favorite things is it made such a fun opportunity, you know, before Discord was around where everyone could just instant message everyone all the time. Um,
hmm
and forums were kind of a hassle. You didn't always want to be on every single forum. So a lot of stuff was primarily done either in game or on the wiki, but mostly in game. And Courtly Study Group was a really cool place. It was the first place that I ever saw where all sides could just chill out, like
Mhm.
PKers, zombies, death cultists, trench coaters, RPers, just everyone could just
Mhm.
like hang out. Roftwood is just filled with like very funny culture like that. I always felt
Mhm.
like it was kind of the Paris of Malton or something. Just so much culture with the RRF
Yeah.
especially. You know, the RRF, they have a lot of strange lore too with like their
Mhm.
pants. Do you know much about RRF and their pants?
Well, I know that they like pantsless square dancing. This is what I've
Yes.
heard.
Yep, yep, and you're very correct in that. So the RRF pants is like a very culturally inappropriate thing to wear as a zombie. One of the kind of shocking things about the RRF is any real RRFer is definitely pantless.
Yeah. Well, I said that the Combat Revive Squad's been trying to take the Blackmore for a little while now, and so maybe last week when we all died, I um I stood up and I told them good game and I did a dance and then they were one of them was like talking back to me in zombie and dancing with me. It was fun. Like they're great. Yeah, all the player created culture and lore and history and even the zombie language, which I love. It's so great and from such a simple game. I was gonna say the RRF, so back to the Blackmore story. At that time, all we had was the forums, and we went on each other's forums a little bit to kind of, you know, heckle each other. And I remember they were a lot of them were pretty like uptight back then in 2006. Like they were like angry at us for being in the Blackmore and it, they didn't like Ron's wiki page about it because it was,
Like the old
they said
school
it
tribal days when like there wasn't
yeah,
any of that fun GG stuff or whatever.
yeah, yeah. And
I
so
remember
but
the
then
old
later
tribal days.
later we had Murray on our forum, we had Sunny. They were on our forum a lot. And it was, you know, because the NMC forum wasn't just about the game. We had like a philosophy board, and there was a lot of just like talking about other things than the game. And there's like a whole role play thread, and just a lot of spamming, just tons of spamming. Oh, somebody else I really would love to get in my reunion is Ian. He was Ian on the forum. He spammed the forum so much that they made it where if you posted, I want to say it's like maybe 1,000 posts, you became an Ian. That was your like forum rank. So he's a legend from the NMC forum, and I know who he is, but he hasn't responded to me. I don't know if he has seen my messages. So some of the people maybe, you know, don't check Facebook or don't check their old email address or wherever I tried to contact them. But yeah, so I'm never gonna finish the Blackmore story. I think the last thing I had said was so we gave ourselves a name, the Blackmore Bastard Brigade. And then it was funny because on the RF forum they were like saying, those bastards. And I think we quoted it on the wiki page, like they must like our name. They were kind of mad about it, and we were just having so much fun.
Welcome back, Malton. This concludes the first part of my September 2024 conversation with the spectacular SweetIrony from the famed New Malton Colossus and hostess of the greatest Urban Dead reunion party I have ever seen. Stay tuned for part 2 coming soon. This ZGG Fireside Chat is a post-apocalyptic production proudly presented to you by me, Zombie GG, and my guest, SweetIrony. Lastly, a short moment of silence for those great players no longer with us whose characters, both IRL and in-game, brightened our days with memories we still can't forget. Thanks for listening, Malton. It has been an honor.